tall order then for Tony Sibson, who had to fight an African Sander. 12 rounds actually last month. And Rivera at 6'2" is a very useful fighter indeed. He's on one of the good circuits, as they say in America. Puerto Rican out of New Jersey. And the record says no mug. 17 wins. And in good company. He's been in with world-ranked fighters. And I remember he boxed in Europe as an amateur, and he won in Ireland, apart from the Scandinavian countries. And Sibson doesn't really like these, what would be called beam pole middleweights. So it looks as though there might be a little bit of damage already around Sibson's eye in the flurry that took place there. Just a minute to go in the round. Well, I tell you, I know all about Louis Rivera's background. He's 6 fights last year and had a cut eye loss to Lindell Holmes, who's one of the world-ranked fighters, who actually lost on a cut eye to Harold Graham. So he's in there now, Sibson. He's got to tuck himself into the arms there, inside the arms of Rivera. Only 22, he's an American publicist would call a live one. Well, we got the Sibo chance, and there's just a little speck of blood around the eye. And with me tonight, I had the pleasure of the British and European light welterweight champion, retained his championship with the Isle of Man last Saturday. Terry Marr. Not an easy one, Terry, is it?
No, it's the first round, and both have already thrown their good shots, and both have taken good punches from either. It seems that could be quite exciting.
Such an awkward man, Rivera. He lost a fight this year with a damaged nose against a world-ranked fighter, Doug DeWitt, at Atlantic City. But when you chat him, he's full of confidence, liked the reception he had in this country. There you are, when you get Sibson standing in front of you, man, it's fought Marvin Hagler. He fears nobody. He's only half a pound over the middleweight limit. He really meant it when he said, I'm going to stay around the middleweights and liven a few of them up now. He's got his, good right hand there. That was right on the bell. So there's the statistics for Tony Sibson. Seems as though he's been around forever, but 28's not very old in boxing terms. But of course, he turned pro on his 18th birthday. And there is a little nick around the eye there that they're working on in the corner, Ken Squires and his assistant. And there's the rundown on Louis Rivera. As I say, some of those losses have been against top quality fighters. He took 2 years off with hand trouble from 83 to 85, so he's very fresh. You see that little swad of Vaseline or maybe adrenaline cream that's just nicked in the corner there. Second round, and just let's hope that the little graze cut, as it were, around Tony Sibson's left eye doesn't worsen. But he just caught the Puerto Rican American with the right hand right at the end of the first. He still manages to be full of running, doesn't he? He's still got the ambition, Terry, Tony Sibson.
Yes, certainly yes, and he's got an immense amount of power, and as I say, I think he means business. He's come back, and I think he's looking for another middleweight title fight.
Well, he's still the Commonwealth champion. He's always held on to it. Never lost the British or European. That was a bit unfairly stripped from him because he had an elbow operation, floating bones, on the left elbow, but he's shown no signs at all. The best thing that could happen to him, the operation, his left hook in there's a good one. originally he was supposed to fight Alex Ramos, who apparently pulled out, but this fella, I tell you, he's every bit as good as Ramos, I would have thought. And I'd seen Ramos as an amateur as well. Oh, very well, the crowd saying, get in, Tony. It's not easy. Sibson, isn't it? It does the heart good. There was a period at one time when he was, well, almost going through the motions, I thought, Terry, but he's got the real fire in his belly again. It's good to see that. Bit of an inspiration to other fighters, isn't it?
Well, it just goes to show that you can come back, contrary to the popular belief, and I would say he's more determined and more dedicated now than what he was previous to his fight against Marvin Hagler.
Yeah, it wasn't just the Hagler defeat. I mean, he was winning after that, and he's he's telling Rivera, you cut that out. Doesn't like that, and he's making him pay for it. And if it comes to a rough ride, you can rely on Sibson. Louis Rivera may not look the hard fighter, but he is. He said, there's a kid I fought my way to school, my way out of school, everything. He said, I had to do that in the neighborhood I was brought up in. Just worsened a bit, obviously. It's not going to get better as the fight goes on. It's up to the cornermen now to work on that. So Ernie Fossey's got the job then. As you see, he's a second there. Ken Squire's the trainer. He's self-managed, actually, Tony Sibson, but sort of tied up with the promotion of Frank Warren in recent times now. And let's hope that cut's not going to hinder him as he goes along. But he was quite anxious about it and nagging away there at Rivera for doing something wrong. But Larry O'Connell will take care of that, the referee, I hope. So in replay there. He's always looking to get inside. You can see ducks, dives, gets inside, and then tries to pummel away on the ribs there and the body. There's some good stuff coming in from Sibson there. He can be an exciting fighter on top. He's going to take some stopping at any level. Round 6. And the sheer volume of punches putting Sibson ahead. Looks a sharper punch of the two, but he's a little bit dangerous, Rivera. The old boxing saying about he might not be the best fighter in the world, but he makes it difficult for those who think they are. I think Sibson's got to sort himself out some middleweights and not quite so tall in future, Terry. I mean, you know, there are heavyweights that are shorter than this. Marciano, Tommy Burns, this fella's 6'2".
Yeah, it doesn't help Tony being so short as a middleweight.
Another good right-hander there that rudely interrupted while you were talking, Terry. But again, he was just riding away from it as he took it. Security man there just the other side of the ring on stage here at the Royalty. In case the American came out of the ring there, they were making sure he wasn't going to fall over the apron. What do you think of that? We're talking about Sibson's right hand. It's Rivera, and he's got up and he's so angry with himself, Terry, isn't he?
Yeah.
What was that all about, he said?
He was going against the run of play there. I think it was just caught, as you said earlier on, about times when he switches off. I think that happened now.
Well, maybe it's just as well it's towards the end of the round, because he looked a bit flustered, if nothing there. I mean, what was he doing on the deck? He was caught a little bit in his last fight early on in the fight with Sander, but he just came back from that, as he's done there. Well, he wasn't too pleased with himself at all there, Sibson, going well, and suddenly got caught a bit square on, really. So let's have a look now. The way Sibson went down, backing Rivera off. There comes now the right hand, side of the head. Yeah, good knockdown, no doubt, Terry.
It was a good punch. Yeah.
Have a look at it from another angle, Terry.
Yeah, he's gone into a crouch trying to miss the punch, and it's caught him, and well, it was a fair punch. What hasn't helped either is hoping he's cut again on the eye, I noticed.
Yeah, it just worsened towards the end of that round. Well, he's feeling a bit pleased with himself, isn't he? A punch out of the blue there. Round 7, and I've been saying all through that Rivera's a dangerous type of fighter. Crab-like style, but good sneaking punches. And Sibson got to keep his hands up a little bit and concentration going. Didn't actually take up a count there, Terry, in the round, did they?
No, that's right. He was up straight away.
You don't get a mandatory count in non-title fights in this country. In fact, not in British title fights either. But he would have taken an 8 count in world boxing. So that puts a slightly new twist to the fight, as it were. Certainly not an easy opponent anyway. In many ways, it's good to see that. We don't want to see any walkovers. And in a way, although Sibson didn't like going on the deck, he rather welcomes beating a handy fighter than a nobody. I knew from the kind of company that Rivera had been keeping in the ring that he must be a bit useful, because matchmakers wouldn't put him in with the quality that he's been with unless he could do the business a bit. So he's plodding with that left hand there, trying to find distance and then chop the right hand over as he did in the previous round. Oh, but Sibson got him with a left hook a bit there. He didn't ride that one.
Oh, no, it's a good left hook. I think he's had his right hand that would take a lot of the pressure out of it, though.
Well, considering Sibson's actually had a slight cut from the first round, he's done well, and certainly the seconds have done well to staunch that. Minute to go in the 7th. Bit of a low punch there, and I think Larry O'Connell's going to warn him for that. And Sibson's more or less saying, why didn't you play the no-foul rule there and let us play on? But fair dues to the referee, he was quite right. He just couldn't catch up with him for a minute. Former boxer himself, Larry O'Connell. Well, it's been a very much of a no-nonsense contest anyway. There's been a lot of decent punching, a lot of good thinking going on in this fight. Bell there, and almost an apology. That's the sort of guy Sibson is. Doesn't want to take liberties. No, I was only going to say, make sure I'm ready. he must be a bit pleased with his nice work, Terry Rivera.
He's doing quite well. He's very composed, and when Tony does let go through with a barrage of punches, the bloke doesn't get flustered at all.
On time for round 9. We don't have what's commonly known as a 10-second buzzer in this country to get the seconds out of the ring. It's time it was introduced, I think. And the visiting boxers get caught out, or at least their trainer and seconds do. So scheduled for 10. And Sibson hit the deck rather unceremoniously at one stage. Still managing to squirm his way out of it there, Rivera. He really knows the defensive stuff. Sibson can't straighten him up. Almost an India rubber man. What a frustrating opponent, Terry.
It is, yeah. I think Tony's finding his way through now. Say with a jab, and then he's opening him up with the right hand and the left hooks.
Looks as though he may have to work to the body again to get him to stand still a bit, because he tends to miss with the head punches, which is very understandable. Sibson, this is a bit more like the old Sibbo we know. And referee O'Connell, as they say, having a very good look at Rivera at this stage, the man under fire. Minute to go then in the 9th, and a good round for Tony Sibson. This rather throaty choir of Sibson supporters are telling us. Well, he's hanging on a bit now, Rivera. He's running out of gas now under this fire. He'll do well to stop him, Sibson, nonetheless, but it's really taken over in this round. Half a minute. Still got to watch for that sneak right hand that comes in. Now he's looking the business in this round, Terry.
Looking very good. I noticed he stepped the pace up in the 8th, and now he's gone into the 9th, and I think the pattern will be the same in the next round as well.
Well, considering he's been under fire quite a bit in the 9th there, he doesn't look too bad, really, Rivera. But I think now he knows he hasn't got any chance of winning, despite having had Sibson over at one point. Now, the replay now with Sibson in full flight, as it were, follows Rivera back to the corner, catches him with that good left hook. And he's still looking for the knockout there. He's just catching him on the side of the gloves and the wrist and so forth. Very good protection indeed, Rivera, but he is floundering there. So another look at that action from Sibson. There it is. Just missed with the right hand. Final round then, the 10th. And the formal touch of gloves. I always think they're a bit like the pleasantries that a dentist gives you before he puts you in the chair, because the punches are still going to be hard in the last. Apart from just one spot where Sibson was in a bit of trouble. He'll obviously say he wasn't hurt. It was, I think, his pride more than his chin was hurt at that point. He's really dictated this fight nonetheless, but it's been a good opponent. Sibson keeps saying he needs to get some good practice in as he's been out of the ring for a while now. It's only his third fight and he'll come back. And he's had 2 that's going the distance out of the 3. But then again, I think he'd have been just as happy to have hit this fellow on the chin a little earlier than this. I'm wondering if people will say, well, maybe Sibson at his peak, as it were, might have stopped this fellow, Terry, but I would have thought that's a bit unfair. He'd have probably given him trouble at any stage of his career.
Yeah, it's that type of opponent. They're not easy to beat.
He really is a bit of a Houdini in the middles, isn't he, this fella?
Even if you tag him, there's no guarantee that you can get it when you follow up, because it's so elusive.
So no judges then. Larry O'Connor will give the decision right at the end. There is tots up at the end of each round with the half-point or full-point markings, depending on how big the round has been won. But I would have thought these are all half points. Good punch. Downward arc there. Can he stop him now? Running out of time, Sibson in the 10th. And he's still doing his escape act there, Rivera, and I suppose for that alone it deserves. And he's still doing his escape act there, Rivera, and I suppose for that alone it deserves to hang on to the end, to walk out with the professional's pride of still being on his feet. Pinned in Sibson's corner there. And it's all over. And the obvious winner, and a clear winner, Tony Sibson, who overcame a cut in the opening round and a bit of a flash knockdown to keep going in this comeback of his middleweight career now, the Commonwealth champion. And he's consoling Louis Rivera for saying, hey, mate, you put up more than a good show.